Morning, everybody. Minor incident. The SD card was corrupted, so I got zero of the video yesterday. But the funny thing is, I actually missed a small or a minor incident that we had. And I'll show you, because I really do want to make sure that others don't do it. We got lucky, nobody got hurt. Oh, you can actually see it from here. The basket that's on the front of the tractor right there. We usually go up there, and generally we strap it on. Well, got lazy, didn't strap it on, and Chrissy tilted the forks down a little too far, and I slid right off the end in the basket and landed on the concrete and hit up against those posts right there outside the door. Smarted a little bit, didn't get seriously hurt, but just wanted to point that out there. Make sure that you always strap it down. You know, it's for safety and everything else, and then could have got really seriously hurt. The other thing you missed was, if you notice, which I'm sure you will, if you look at the door, you can see that the boards go downhill. Well, I'll tell you what happened. The bottom is at an angle. It's about a 5-degree angle, and we cut all the boards so it was like that. Well, I messed up and measured from the bottom for the spacing for these cross members. So I measured from the bottom towards the top on both sides to get my spacing, 3 foot on center, and then the last one was just about 2 foot. And anyways, since this is at an angle down here, that made my boards at an angle all the way up. It looks fine from the outside, but it just aggravates me a little bit on the inside. Figuratively and literally. Anyways, we're gonna do the other one real quick. Throw it together, put the tracks up, and then we'll put that on. And then we're gonna work on electrical. We'll get all of our lights up, and we'll start cutting boards for the pins while I'm doing that. All right, so this is how we cut our metal. You could use tin snips, you could use circular saw with a metal blade, you could use Sawzall if you wanted. You can use all kinds of things. Hacksaw if you really got desperate. Anyways, we use a plasma cutter, and this is actually the same plasma cutter that is on our channel earlier on that we bought. It's an Amazon one. If you're interested in it, go check out the video before. It's, oh man, it's from almost a year ago probably now. But anyways, we've had this thing for a year, and we really like it. It works very well. Cuts thick metal, thin metal, all of it. But I'll just show you real quick how we did it to cut our metal, just so you can see how it works. This is our new politician. You can put Joe Biden on the side of it, Donald Trump, whatever you want to put, whatever makes you happy. But at the end of the day, this is going to spread the manure that we create in this barn so that we can put it on our hayfield. Because basically, the hay that we cut all comes from our hayfield. So we want to put as much of those nutrients back as we can. So we'll throw all that fresh dirt back on the hayfield, and then we'll still have to fertilize in the spring, but this will help create a less nutrient deficient soil in our hayfield. Do need to replace the floor in it, as you can see, but for the price, couldn't pass it up. It does work good. It's ground driven, so we can either pull it with a tractor or the side-by-side, either one. Basically, these tires will turn, and then they turn, if you engage it with these levers, it'll turn this chain. That chain will move the floor. Well, not move the floor, it'll move this chain across the floor. And then on the other side, if you move that lever, it'll also engage the mechanism on the rear to actually fling the manure. Yeah, so you can see that we've already oiled it up and everything. We just wanted to get it, everything as loosened up as we could, because it is old. We went ahead and greased everything. Just make sure everything's in good working order before we need it. Yeah, so that is the politician. That's what we call it, because essentially politicians always spread political promises, which are usually crap, just to make things, well, not make things grow, but to get votes to grow for them. So it's kind of the same concept, except we're gonna actually fling crap or fresh dirt, whatever you want to call it, onto our hayfield to make hay grow. It dawned on me that I didn't make any sort of video to show exactly what we did over here. So the sides you see are the clear plastic paneling, same thing from the rooftop up here. Did that just to make a window, and then we put flashing up to ensure that we don't get water to go under there and between the barns, because these two barns, that's the only thing connecting these two barns. They're not bolted together anywhere. They're absolutely not connected anywhere. So that is the only thing that connects these two. Won't hold them together to do anything. It just keeps the water out. That's it. I just thought I should address that because I did realize that I didn't talk about it. Well, electrical begins today. It's not terrible out. It's probably, I don't know, it's probably like 40 something degrees, 45 degrees right now and sunny, so it feels pretty good with the sun. Anyways, I pulled the old line. All right, we got battery again. So before I was rudely interrupted by the battery dying, I'm gonna finish up the wiring. Like I said, I ran new wire all the way from the panel box all the way up, just because that one got ripped, and I decided that I was gonna go with larger wire because I'm gonna have 20 amp circuits all down here instead of 15. Even though the lights don't need more than 15, they're fine, but the outlets, I'd like to have 20 amp capabilities if I need them. So I'll start right here and I'll take care of this stuff later. I'm actually gonna use these wires. I'm gonna use them to run 2 more circuits of outlets out here in this original barn, because the only thing we're really using here is trickle chargers. And I'm also gonna add lights across the top up here, just like the lights we're putting up out here, because they're way brighter. So I'm gonna get started. I don't know if you can see it, but that light up there is plugged into the top of that receptacle. The top of that receptacle is controlled by a light switch. The bottom has always got live power. I know how I work and make that happen. I can show on another video if everybody wants to see it, but it's very simple. And I can actually show you guys how I wired the barn. However, right now I just want you to understand that the light is not going to be on all the time. The light will be controlled by a switch. The bottom of that outlet does have power constantly, just like it does down here. And that is because we are going to put in cameras at a later date. I don't know exactly when, but we'll put in cameras, not necessarily for security measures, but realistically just for being able to monitor the sheep whenever they're in here. They're in here because of wintertime and also because of lambing. So it's not bad that we're out here with them all the time, but it is a little bit more of a nuisance whenever we walk out here, because just like when we walk out to the pastures and they all flock to us, the same thing's going to happen when we come in here. They're going to expect to be fed, because they know that every day when we come in here, when they're in here, they're getting grain in the morning and they're going to get water in the morning. We're going to see how the water goes. If they need water again in the afternoon or the evening, we will do it again. But we really want to minimize our walking in and out of here, because it's going to get everybody excited. And with them being small lambs and everything around, we don't want them to get trampled by their pen mates. The outlets that are down here, they're really more for just everyday use of random things, maybe a heat lamp or something if we have lamb in need. But for the most part, they're going to be used for charging batteries if I'm working out here, or running a grinder, something simple like that. Nothing that takes more than about 12 amps, 15 amps. So I won't have to worry too much about that. The lights are 50 watts each. And the way we have it set up, there's 6 of those lights on each circuit. Those 6 lights draw collectively about 2.4 amps, because each one draws 0.41 amps, because they're 50 watts on 120 volts. To figure out how many amps whatever you're going to put on here draws, you need to know the watts and the voltage. All you do is you take however many watts it is, so in this case it's 50 watts, right? You divide that by 120 volts, and that'll give you 0.41 amps. Pretty simple formula. but it is very helpful so you know how much you're going to draw. So realistically, I'm not drawing hardly anything for amps. Less than 3 amps on a 20 amp circuit is nothing. But you do need to make sure you understand how that's working, because if you overpower something, you're just going to consistently break or trip a breaker, and then you're going to get aggravated and you're not going to understand why. I'll give you one guess of who did not press the record button on time lapse yesterday. So we're going to do this the Millennial Farmer way. When you come back, well, actually here in like 2 seconds, you're going to see what happened. So you can see it's all done. There are a couple that aren't done, like switch plate, or sorry, the receptacle cover plate is not done on that one. I had it and I lost it. And then there's a couple, like right here, I simply don't have the box. So it's there, but it's not connected up top. That way it's safe. Same thing on that one. And other than that, we are pretty much ready. Hey everyone, real quick. If you haven't already, please hit the like button. Share this video on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or whatever social media platform you use. And hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Those are the 3 biggest things you can do to help our channel grow and to support our channel. That brings me to my next thing. A lot of people have been asking about how they can support us. And while we appreciate the offer to give monetary donations, we just don't accept them. What you can do instead is, there's a link down below in the description. That link will take you to Farm Focus website that has our Freedom Farms merchandise on it. All of our apparel on there is 100% made in the USA. The shirt is made here, the decals are made here, and then they're put on the shirts all here in the United States. There's also decals on there, and shortly there'll be sweatshirts. So if you're interested in that stuff, please go check out Farm Focus website. The link is down below in the description. It'll take you straight to our shop. Thank you and enjoy the videos.